Spread it out.
Owen Wilson Club. You're looking good, looking good. So I'm going to talk to you a bit about psychosis and schizophrenia. Yay! And I suppose if you're like me, before I did my training, I'm a trained clinical psychologist, almost. I didn't know much about psychosis or schizophrenia other than from movies. So close your ears if you don't like spoilers. But Fight Club, A Beautiful Mind, and Downton Abbey, all based. Yeah. And just, I suppose, I'm going to talk a bit about the different kind of symptoms and different things that are involved with psychosis, just because, you know, why not? We should all know a bit more about different things. So one of the things people are probably most familiar with are visual hallucinations, and they're actually really quite common. So actually when people are grieving, really quite common, another fun topic. But also, I actually had one when I came to visit Edinburgh before I lived here, and I was in the zoo, and I thought I saw Billy Connolly. I was in Scotland. I saw an older man in a black t-shirt and assumed it was Billy Connolly. It was not Billy Connolly. There's also auditory hallucinations. So kind of there's I don't know if you call it a meme or what you call it, but it's this idea, this thing that people are hearing, and people are hearing it differently. And that's a really good way to understand hallucinations, is that what the world is putting out might not be what your brain picks up. So unless you, I don't know if you've all heard of it, but there's this thing that people are hearing, and sometimes people hear Yanni, and sometimes people hear Yanni. And then there's another type of hallucination which is less common, olfactory hallucinations. So they're kind of to do with your sense of smell, and that's one actually I experience quite a lot. I drive a lot for work, in my car by myself, and I sometimes smell farts. It's not impossible. And there's kind of other things people are more familiar with. So you've got paranoia, and you know, sometimes you might feel like everyone's looking at you. And then things like delusions. And delusions are really interesting because they're just a belief. And if lots of people hold this belief, it's not a problem. So think about things like the Loch Ness Monster. It's a belief. The economy. What is that? I don't want to talk about Donald Trump, so I just won't. And then thinking as well about, what was the other one? Oh yeah, religion. I don't want to talk about religion because people get really offended, especially the atheists. So they're what we might call the positive symptoms, and not because they're brilliant and happy and fun, but more because they're an additional something that you experience. But there's also negative symptoms, so they're kind of things like social withdrawal, difficulties with thinking, confusion, and some people can feel like a lot of apathy or lack of motivation, and I suppose these are all things that as humans at some point people can experience versions of this. And I'm not implying everybody has a little bit of psychosis. I don't think that's especially helpful, but it's more that it's something that everybody can understand. That as humans, we all can understand the range of human experience. And I don't know if anyone knows about the Only Us campaign. Whoop if you do. No? Okay, I'm going to tell you about it. Don't look it up because the website's actually terrible. There's not much there. But basically it's a hashtag, and it's just saying we're all just people. So there's no us and them. There's no mental well and unwell. There's no professionals and people with mental health problems. It's just us. We're just people, and we're just figuring out life and the world and things. So I like that idea because I think before, again, kind of, I was obviously interested in mental health before I did my training, but I remember seeing a documentary on Channel 4, and I honestly don't know what I think about it. So it's, I don't know if it was, you know, because of the time, it was about 10 years ago. I don't know if it was just a badly made show or if it was actually genius. But there was these 6 people, and they were like filmed eating food, going shopping, talking to people, and then they had this panel of professionals guess what mental health problem they had. So they're like, spot the anorexic, spot the person with anxiety, and it was, yeah, is that crass, or is it like stigma busting? Like, I don't know. But I remember one of the professionals, he just said it, and it always stuck with me. He's like, schizophrenia is the cancer of mental health. I was like, is that like tuna is the chicken of the sea? And also, I would say, isn't duck a better chicken of the sea? Like, I'm just thinking, about movies and different things, and just trying to, make a bit more sense of people's experiences and help other people understand what people are going through. And it reminds me of, there's this really great resource available in Scotland, made in Scotland, and it summarises all the available evidence for different mental health difficulties. So if you've got anxiety or depression or PTSD, or none of the above, but you're just interested, it's available freely online, and it just shows you what psychological interventions could be helpful. And part of my research was thinking about kind of what might be the most helpful for psychosis. So we compared things like social skills training, which does exactly what it says on the tin, things like cognitive behaviour therapy, mindfulness-based approaches, cognitive remediation, which is like brain training. So there's lots of really different cool ideas. There's avatar therapy, which sounds amazing. And it's just, it's cool. It's like they get a computer program and then the person like interacts with their avatar as their hallucination rather than with a therapist. But there's lots of really cool ideas, and the finding from my research was we need more research. That's always the message. There's a really great resource for kind of all mental health kind of difficulties, as I mentioned, and you'll never guess the name of it. It's called The Matrix. It's like red pill, blue pill, talking therapy. It makes so much sense. Which got me thinking a bit about The Matrix and whether that was a movie about psychosis. I just think it's an elaborate ad for how cool flip phones are. Yes, for an underground, flip phones are the coolest thing. You could hang up on somebody. And just thinking, I asked my Twitter followers and 3 people replied for recommendations of good movies if people want to understand a bit more about living with psychosis or schizophrenia. And Donnie Darko was mentioned. Apocalypse Now apparently has some really good scenes in it that are really helpful. And another movie called Spider, and that wasn't a joke, it was just a list of things that you can look up. So yeah, just before I finish though, I think there has to be a plot twist. The girl in the car, it was me. I farted in the car.